Welcome to Metaphysical Soul Speak. I'm your host, Elena Fox Starks. Hey guys, I hope you're doing really well in this moment in time, and that whenever and wherever you are on the planet, wherever you happen to be, when you're listening to this, that you are able to, in your mind's eye, live your best life. So if it's not now, because you're on quarantine, I want you to create a space in your mind in which you are living your best life ever. And so it's in the future. But imagine it's now, okay? After the quarantine is over, after you can walk around outside, after you can work again, travel again, love again, meet up with your friends again, I want you to imagine, visualize your best life ever. What is it going to look like for you when you are living your best life? I want you to imagine the beauty. I want you to imagine the emotion. I want you to see the people that are surrounding you, loving you and smiling at you. Now, if you don't have that many friends, or you don't like the ones you've got, and you're looking to move, or maybe you just moved and you don't know anyone, now you're in quarantine. I'm sure some people are in that situation. You could imagine that maybe you're walking with your friends and you're looking down on the trail or pathway you're walking on, and you just see your friends' shadows. You kind of see their shadows, or you see their shoes, or you can imagine their laughter peeling out into the space around you as you share a happy laugh together. And most of all, I want you to imagine you're inside your body smiling a lot, because you are finally where you want to be. The golden age of man has come. No one is worried about money any longer. We're not worried about anything any longer. We're not making another man rich while we're stuck barely paying the bills, because those are 3D constructs, and now we are in the fifth dimension, right? Most of you listening to this, we're already in the fifth dimension together, right? We're in the beginning, so it still looks the same, but everything's going to turn around really quickly. I mean, if Ralph Smart is correct and it's 18 months, that's still pretty quickly to turn around a whole world. Imagine you and your family are in this huge, school bus, and your dad says, "Don't make me turn this thing around." And imagine how hard it'd be to turn around a school bus, right? That's kind of what God's doing with Earth right now, it feels like to me. Don't make me turn this thing around. We've all been sent to our rooms to think about what we've done. I've been seeing that meme. I've seen that meme like 6 times. It's hilarious. It's like, what? It's like so funny. Like, but we're here, we're in this crazy situation right now, and it's good to escape the reality of being on military lockdown. If you're listening to me from the UK, you guys just went on lockdown day 1. I'm on lockdown day 8, okay? And it's crazy. Like, they just say, don't leave the freaking house. Don't leave the house at all. If you're in the United States, everything's willy-nilly. Some of you are on lockdown and it's serious, and some of you are like, lollygagging about with your dogs and your friends and hanging out at the beach and, going to all these different places like ain't no thing. I have a friend in Austin, Texas say he went to work. He's a construction worker. And I'm like, what? You guys need to be inside. Whatever project it is, put a damn tarp over it. It'll frickin' hold. It'll wait, man. It's not like it's going to snow on your project in Austin. This virus is freaking nasty. What happened today in Ecuador? It's crazy. So we have more cases, and we now have hit 1,082 people with coronavirus. And we have had 27 deaths, and that is 27 deaths too much for the government. The president is really mad about this. I think he's livid about it, actually. And he passionately wants to protect the people of Ecuador. And elections are coming up, and he's not running. He doesn't give a shit. He does not want to be the president. He never did. I think that the president that we had was, there's something to do with corruption. I don't know if I think he ran away to another country instead of go to jail. But he was ousted, and this guy ended up being Maduro. Not Maduro, what the hell's his name? Sorry. Maduro's a Venezuelan president. He's on the brain because I saw a clip of news about him talking about all the people. I saw something about him to do with the coronavirus. So, anyway, why am I not thinking of his name? And it's funny because I dated his cousin-in-law, actually. I'd never met the president, but I dated his cousin-in-law. Anyway, he says, this is too much. It's too much. 1,000 people in Ecuador. I have to protect the people. So from this point forward, starting tomorrow, you guys, starting tomorrow, we can't leave the house after 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And we can't leave until 5 in the morning. So we can only leave between 5 in the morning to 2 in the afternoon, and that is it. And at the same time, we are in drought-like conditions. We haven't had enough rainwater that we normally have. And because people are all in their homes more, they're using more water. People get bored. The men go out and water their lawn, I suppose. Maybe the women do too. I don't know. The women are watering their lawn and the men are watering their gardens. I don't know what's going on. I live in an apartment building, but because people are using so much water at home, and it's 25% usage more than last year at this time, they might start restricting water. They're going to shut off everybody's water every day between after 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So between 6 and 3 we have water, and the rest of the time we don't. And they said, if you guys aren't conserving water, we have to conserve it. Otherwise, we're not going to make it through the season. We're not going to have enough water for all the people. I mean, so now here in Ecuador, not only are we facing the coronavirus crisis, the military shutdown, lockdown, also fines. So if I'm out at 2:30 in the afternoon in the park, which I'm not going to be, but if I am, that's $100. I get caught again, that's $400. I get caught a third time, that's jail time. They don't play around in Ecuador with this thing. They just don't play around with it. They're doing it to protect the people. And I really, even though it's scary, and even though I don't freaking like being told what to do, I am so grateful for it, because you guys, this is going to save thousands of people's lives. Because in Ecuador, we have 1,082 and only 27 have died. In the United States, you guys, 54,867 people have been infected, and there's no frickin' quarantine yet. Nationwide. What the actual hell is going on over there? 782 people have died in the United States from the coronavirus. One man died because he took the damn malaria pills that Trump keeps saying is a freaking cure, which it is not. It helped only 6 people, I found out. So there's a lot of BS going on. There's a lot of lies. That guy, God bless him, he was just trying to save his life because he had a family. And now his wife has to pay for burial expenses and probably throw a funeral that no one can freaking come to because of the quarantine. And probably no one's going to go do anyway because he had coronavirus. It's just, it's absolutely asinine what's going on. China has had over 81,000 cases. Italy has had over 69,000 cases, and number 3 on the list is the United States. And then Spain. So, this is the deal. Oh, and I can't remember his name now, darn it. On Kirsten Bell's Instagram, she posted a video of an ICU doctor, and he says, look, this is why it's dangerous for the coronavirus versus the flu. If you get the flu and you're contagious and you don't know you have the flu and you go out and you talk to people, the odds are of you spreading it to 1.3 to 1.4 persons. Obviously, there's no such thing as a 0.4 person or 0.3 of a person. But this is just, statistics, right? So, and then say those people give it to 1.3 people on average. So, which means that basically the average person with the flu will give it to either one person or 2 people. And then someone else will give it to one person or 2 people. But over, a population of 1,000 people, it ends up being 1.3 people per, person. Statistics is kind of weird. So, what happens is, if I gave it the flu to 1.3 people and they go give it to 1.3 people, and 10 generations deep of how many times this has been now passed on, I have infected 14 people. Coronavirus is this way. It's so freaking virulent and so easy to transmit comparatively as compared to the flu, that what's happening is every time I leave the house, and if I have it and I don't know I have it, I can easily transmit it to 3 people. And even though that sounds negligible, according to this doctor on Kirsten Bell's feed, he says in 10 generations, the maths add up to you have now infected 59,000 people. This is why it's not cute or cool to go to the frickin' beach or go to the park or to quote unquote walk your dog extra. Seriously. I just saw someone's feed today, made me sick. She talked about walking all around town today and talking to everybody. Delivery people and whatnot, police and whatever. And I'm like, and everyone else is in quarantine. And I'm just like, dude, you might have it and not know it. You might have just spread it to all the delivery people and the police. And then, they don't know they have it. And they go, go visit the nursing home or whatever to do their, Saturday volunteer do-gooder work. And guess what? You know what I mean? Like, oh my God, people, please stay home. Please stay home. It freaking sucks, but everyone has to stay home. Everybody on the planet. What did I tell you guys last, was it like Thursday or, I think I said Friday, maybe Thursday. I said, within 1 week, mark my words, this is going to be in every single country on earth. Today, as of like an hour ago, it now has made it to every single country on earth. including North Korea, including the other 2 territories, 197 countries and territories on Earth now have it. Greenland, Fiji, these crazy ass remote places, middle of nowhere. It's everywhere on Earth now. The whole planet has this virus. So please, if you know somebody, if you know anybody who is going out and, just doing stuff, tell them. Call them out on it. Sure, you might be nowhere near anybody else, but you know what? You cough for a couple seconds, even if you're not sick. What if you are sick and you don't know it yet? Now your spittle is like a freaking aerosol floating around. And right after you leave, someone else walks into it and they don't know, and they breathe it in. Bada boom, bada bang. You just infected 59 freaking thousand people. I'm serious, guys. This is nothing to play with. In Ecuador, if you leave the house and you're out without a mask and gloves on, and you're not using hand sanitizer and all that, it's a frickin' fine. I don't even have a fucking mask. I have a bandana and I have gloves like for the winter weather. That's all I've got. I might have to wear that just if I have to go to the store next door. It's completely stupid. But that's what we have to do. There is a shortage of masks and ventilators all over the planet. And the thing is, if you infect people, maybe you won't feel so sick. Maybe you'll get a fever for one day and then that's it for the whole 14 days, even if you test positive. Maybe you're a lucky one. Maybe you have type O blood, and people with type O blood are having the mildest form of this. But someone like me who has type AB blood, and people who have type A blood are the ones that are getting the worst part of it. And I have asthma, and I've been hospitalized for asthma, and I've died. I was brought dead on arrival in my past to the emergency room with asthma. If my son gets sick and I have to go shopping, you know what I mean? And the people that just feel like, oh, I'm totally not sick, I'm gonna be fine, just gonna go, I can't stand it, I have to get out. And if that person coughs and gives it to me, I could die. I have a higher percentage of dying because of my age, because of my blood type now, because of my pre-existing conditions. And there's one other factor I can't remember. But you know what I mean? You guys, you have to understand that. Please tell everybody you know. You know, I'm looking at these numbers going, oh my God. And I'm really angry about the United States being at almost 55,000 people infected. I'm mad because there's not a nationwide quarantine. There's not like a shutdown. I think that there's still planes in and out. You know, I told you what happened here. A plane tried to land here and 12 cop cars went immediately speeding over to the runway, parked their cars, and the plane could not freaking land. And they say, oh, well, this is a criminal action. Please leave our country. That was it. You're not landing your damn diseased planes here, basically. From Spain yet. Oh my God. I mean, Spain, they have 42,000 cases. What are the odds of people on that plane who have been around all the other people that have been on their plane, many of which have been spreading the disease, crisscrossing the globe with the disease, not knowing it? It's just like, no, you can't land your diseased plane here. It's like asking people in Ecuador to lick a toilet bowl and hope they don't get sick. It's like, come on. Even just opening the cockpit, and that stuff hangs in the air. I'm glad they won't let the plane land. It's crazy. They didn't even ask permission. They just left Spain and came on over here, thinking it's going to be, just going to be bop over and, hey, howdy, neighbor. Sorry to just barge in like this. No, sorry. It doesn't work like that, Iberia. It doesn't freaking work like that at all. Yeah, some of the stuff I've seen today, just, 15% of the people are dying now. I think that number is still skewed, though. To be honest with you, I think it's more like 5%, but yeah, I don't know. I added up all the factors. If I get this, I have a 10% chance of dying. But, I mean, if you don't have asthma or any pre-existing conditions and you're younger than me and maybe you have type L blood, your chance is like 3%. Yeah, so most people aren't going to get it, okay? Most people aren't going to die from it if they do get it. Most people will barely have any symptoms. But this whole thing is this is bothering me so much. Obviously, but 197 countries. It is literally in every country now. Now, in Northern Korea, they didn't really say what's going on here on worldometers.info yet. But 18,907 people have died from the disease already. And we have 422,829 cases as of right now. And already starting for the 25th of March, because this is a little bit ahead. This is Greenwich Mean Time. There's already been 247 cases reported. And it's only been a few hours into the day. And where I'm doing the show, it's still 324. It's still 324. It's still March 24th. 24/3, I suppose. In most countries actually put the date first before the month. But anyway, so it's very dire. It's very scary. But I'm going to ask you guys to be extremely careful. Practice extreme care. The thing that's bugging me about the water here, though, the fact that they want to cut the water off, how the hell are we supposed to wash our hands? They tell us to wash our hands like every 2 hours or whatever so that we don't get the damn disease. And now they're going to cut off our water because we're using too much water. You can't have it two ways, guys. And if we keep using hand sanitizer, we're all going to run out of hand sanitizer. So this whole thing has gained more and more logistically annoying. It's getting really annoying. Every hour or so we see ambulances going by in the evenings, usually about the same exact time. So we're thinking maybe they're drug cartel transporting their cocaine in the backs of ambulances. And we thought, wouldn't that be a great movie? And we saw another one come down that was like up on the hill. We could see traffic up on the hill. And then we saw an ambulance racing down our street, and they had full hazmat suits on and gloves and masks. So we realized that they actually had a patient in the back of their ambulance. There's 27 cases here in my city. And that was enough. The mayor's pissed off. Everyone's pissed off about it. They're like, no, I'm not going to allow anyone more to die. I'm not going to allow more people to get sick. It's absolutely crazy. In the UK, can't meet in more than groups of 2. So if you're a family of 4, you got to work. You have to, work in 2s if you're going to go on a walk with the dog. But you guys just don't go out. Just get as much stuff as you can. Buy beans. Beans are cheap. A bag of beans is like what? 70 cents, $1, 60 cents. Depends on the kind of bean. You can soak the beans in the water. And that, you know what, you guys, honestly, that's another thing. Everyone here is probably making beans because it's cheap. And we're all doing our part to conserve as much as possible. Like, seriously, my son and I have made a candy bar last 8 days. We are rationing the hell out of it. And we're like, every other day we get a piece of chocolate, like a little teeny tiny square. And something marvelous happened today was when I was going through my closet, I found a secret stash of stuff I put before the quarantine started. And I just put it in my cabinet, and I totally forgot about it. And it was like from a couple weeks ago, and I have a candy bar that hasn't even been opened yet. It's like I heard a choir of angels singing. It was just like, so, yeah. And it's like a chia seed and ginger, high quality, like 80% or 70% cacao. It's like super healthy, low sugar. Oh my God. This incredible candy bar. I'm like, from Picari. I don't even think you guys can get Picari. I don't think they, unless you're in a specialty shop, I don't think they even export this one from Ecuador. It's like one of the top-notch chocolate companies. And it's not ones full of themselves. I've seen candy bars here that are $60 for one candy bar. It's just a normal size, like Snickers. It's like, wait, you guys are so damn full of yourselves. And I know why. It's because they made it from the ancient Incan cacao, the original cacao, and there's not that many of those. They're just planting more every year, but there's not that many because they had a blight, and we almost lost these for forever. But I talked to some of the people running the company, and they said someday, when I have my own farm, they said that they would gladly, for free, even give me the cacao cuttings. I'm like, I just want to grow them for you guys. I'm not going to try to compete with you and have my own chocolate company or whatever. And if I do, it will be like boutique hotels in San Francisco. It'll be super specialized or something. It won't be. And they're like, okay, in that case, yeah, we want everyone, as many people as can possibly, grow this in different parts, so that if we blight in one region, at least we can preserve. It's like seed savers. They're heirloom. They're thousands, like tens of thousands of years old, this chocolate. So I'm grateful. I'm grateful to have I'm grateful I got to taste it. It's a really incredible chocolate, but $60 a candy bar. Oh my God, I'm not a millionaire, dude. I feel guilty enough buying the $2 bars, but the $2 bars are really good, and we freaking ration them. I mean, seriously. My son and I share them, and we go through one bar a week, usually. Because of the rationing, it's just crazy. So, all right, guys. I don't know. I'm done lecturing about the whole staying inside, but it's so important, and I love you guys, and I would really hate for you to hurt people that you love accidentally because you didn't know you were sick, or if you're healthy now, I don't want you guys to get sick. Just stay inside. Stay inside. And I honestly, I don't think we should ever go outside, period, until this is over. But I know how it is with fresh air, because I love fresh air. And I told my son, the minute we have a ton of rain, I think after it's fallen for like 4 hours, then I'm going to open my window, and we're going to open all the windows, let in the air. So something sad happened today. My son looked outside and he saw a dead pigeon, and he thinks it's Fred. We're not sure. We can't go down and look. We can see his tummy, but we can't see his eyes from here, because not all the pigeons have the same colored eyes here, and we can't see his markings on his wings, so we don't know if it's really him or not. And right after that happened, all of the pigeons disappeared. There's like 0 pigeons out for hours and hours and hours, like no pigeons. It was the freakiest thing. We don't know what happened to him, and we're really upset. I don't know if it's him. I hope to God it's not Fred. I hope Fred is okay. And if it is Fred, we are just so heartbroken. Fred and Ethel, if you haven't seen pictures of them, they are this little pigeon couple that lives on the window, in the window box. I was going to plant a bunch of flowers in there, but apparently they were raising a family in there. So they've already raised a boy and then a girl and then 2 twin boys, and they're just absolutely in love. They're always cuddling with each other, and they put their beaks in such a way that they're making a heart shape, and it's like the most adorable thing. Even when they fight, they're cute, and they just both had the sweetest personalities. Fred and Ethel Mertz, we called them, and I don't know, I think Fred might have died, so I think that might be him, and we can't go down to bury him. We're just going to allow nature to take its course, which means basically ants. Maybe a dog will come. Oh, God. I don't want to think about it. So I'm a little bit on the bummed side as far as that's concerned, because Fred is he was my good buddy. He's my good buddy. We were thinking if we ever move here, we're going to have to capture these pigeons and take them with us, but we're joking about it. We would never do that, but we would have to make sure that the people that move in here know how special these pigeons are, because some people are just dicks about it and they poison pigeons because they think they're like rats. Okay, sure, they could carry disease, and yeah, since the coronavirus quarantine lockdown happened, we haven't really opened the windows at all when they're out there. But my son put some oats out there today so that if they wake up in the morning and if Fred really is there, at least he'll get something to know that we love him. It's just so sad, you guys. All right, we've had 14 days without sunspots, according to spaceweather.com. The solar wind speed has considerably slowed down, 425.6 kilometers per second. And so basically it's weird because, we've gotten some, where is this thing? Oh, here it is. The coronal hole. Now, some solar wind has flowed, flowing. There it is. Solar wind has been flowing from the southern coronal hole, and it's going to reach here like in 5 to 6 days. So because the solar wind speed was so slow, it's going to take usually it takes 3 to 4 days to get here. It's going to be 5 to 6 days. So that's how slow it went. We have very high neutron counts in the upper atmosphere bombarding us. So the cosmic radiation is very high, according to the Ulu station, cosmic weather station. And according to the NASA all-sky cameras, we have 12 fireballs that exploded over the United States today. So that's interesting. Seems like, there was only like 2 yesterday, and now they're all coming out. Everyone's going out. Everyone but us. Oh, we miss the sun. We've had massive amounts of ash for 2 days in the air. So I know Sangay volcano has been going off. It's like really crazy. Just, I really want the weather to be different. I want the rain to come, knock down everything out of the sky. I want to wake up to fresh, bright blue skies. It's been hazy, pale, baby blanket blue skies because of so much ash in the air. So this is really weird. The size of Comet Atlas, remember we were thinking as it approaches the sun is just going to end up being like kind of melting. Well, they say no one knows how big the icy core of Comet Atlas might be, and it might only be no wider than a few kilometers, but the atmosphere around this comet is huge. And now they're showing that the gaseous envelope surrounding the comet has now ballooned in diameter to 720,000 kilometers across. Basically, it's half as wide as the sun. And this is just a comet hurtling through space. And because it's coming closer to us, it's an enormous atmosphere around it. So this is going to be fun to keep an eye on in coming days and weeks. So according to disclosurenews.it, basically the big number for today is whoop-de-doo. It's 17. I do like the number 17, but it's not very much as far as Schumann resonances are concerned. It's, compared to what we've been getting. So let's go to where the real numbers are. I mean, that's a real number, but it's a real small one, except for the Hofuf Saudi Arabia number, which is always 0, flatlining at 0 all the way across for many, maybe a couple weeks now. But according to heartmath.org, okay, California started off at 53 hertz frequency at midnight and went to, just basically 56 hertz frequency by 4 a.m. And of course, Hofuf, 0 all the way across. Lithuania, though, started off as 132 hertz frequency on the Schumann Resonance scale at midnight, and by 4 a.m., they were exactly the same, straight lining it across, just like yesterday. Wait, is this yesterday's? Oh, crap. Never mind, that is yesterday's. Let me... Hold on a minute. I'm trying to pause this now. Oh, I'm so embarrassed, you guys. That is crazy. I'm not going to cut that part out because you know what? I'm human. Sometimes humans make mistakes, right? I'm like, why are these numbers not adding up? I had, when I turned on my computer today, I had loaded these pages, and this one in particular, I had loaded 2 or 3 times, so I thought it was on today's date, and I just didn't pay attention or something. Anyway, here we go. So sorry about that, guys. Well, guess what, though? Hofuf, Saudi Arabia, 0 all the way across, just like it's been for days. And it's all still straight lining across for everyone, it looks like. Oh, goodness. All right. So, basically, in California, they start off at 52 hertz frequency at midnight. By 4 a.m., they did go down a little bit to 47 hertz frequency. So, practically the same as yesterday. Excuse me. All right. And by the way, you guys, I have no fever. My temperature is a little bit lower than normal. So far, so good. I'm a little congested in my lungs, but not bad. And that could just be allergies because, you know, even though we have everything shut tight, there still is airflow in here and a lot of those little bits of particulate matter from the volcano. It's very, very fine volcanic ash in the air here. So, I don't know, fingers crossed, pray for me that I don't get sick, but I'll let you guys know if I do. And if I do get the coronavirus, I will let you know every day what my symptoms are. So you could track it, listen to it, go back and replay it. If you think you might have the same symptoms, then you'll know, right? So I'm never going to lie to you guys. And if I really am unable to talk, then I might have to take 1 or 2 days. Just in case. And we'll mention it now just in case. Because I'm not obviously not cursing myself or, hoping for it, obviously, but science does exist, So that's why I'm mentioning it, just in case. But I'm keeping my hopes up that I don't have it, and whatever the hell happened over the weekend was like a one-day flu thingy, and it's over now. All right, so anyway, back to what we were doing. Lithuania. Okay. Lithuania started off at midnight at 135 hertz frequency on the Schumann Resonance scale, and by 4 a.m. went down to 132. So pretty much hovering where it was yesterday. Alberta, Canada started off at 67 hertz frequency at midnight, and by 4 a.m., 67 hertz frequency. So there you go. Now, Northland, New Zealand started off at 84 at midnight, and by 4 a.m. they were still at 84 all the way across, except for at 2 a.m. they moved up to 85, just one tick up and then one tick down. So, okay, this is the fun one, guys, because where were we yesterday with this? We were in the 400s. So were you all thinking, wow, the Schumann Resonance must be really high, I feel it, and you went to the page and they said 17? Sorry, Charlie. If that's the case, you are feeling the one in Hulului, South Africa. Okay. So now in Hulului, South Africa, they started off at midnight at 641 hertz frequency on the Schumann Resonance scale. And by 4 a.m., they were at 718 hertz frequency on the Schumann Resonance scale. What? That's so freaking high. 718. Whew. It's not a record for them, though. They were at 790 a week ago. So, hey, Oh my God, they are never to be outdone in Hulului, ever. All right, so lesson 260 in A Course in Miracles, acim.org, is the website for the Foundation for Inner Peace. And we read these because they're high vibrational in nature. In the event that you somehow got stuck on a false ascension, or somehow you're not able to raise your vibration today, I read these so that we can all together collectively raise our vibration higher. And that's so necessary in what's going on today. Right? So here we go. Lesson 260. Let me remember God created me. Father, I did not make myself, although in my insanity I thought I did. Yet as your thought, I have not left my source, remaining part of who created me. Your Son, my Father, calls on you today. Let me remember you created me. Let me remember my identity. And let my sinlessness arise again before Christ's vision, through which I would look upon my brothers and myself today. Now is our source remembered, and therein we find our true identity at last. Holy indeed are we, because our source can know no sin, and we who are his sons are like each other and alike to him. Let me remember God created me. So there we go. Anyway, so I want to talk about this thing that I mentioned earlier. So when you're going to imagine living your best life, I don't want you to think about the coronavirus at all. Make sure you give yourself, a good minimum 5 minutes, 17 seconds if that's all you can do to concentrate. That's okay too. But whatever it is, if it's 17 seconds, for me, I'm swimming in my pool. Living my best life ever is swimming in a pool that's attached to a house that I own 100%, that I paid cash for, that I own outright. That's my house. And sometimes I imagine that I'm unpacking groceries from the back of my car, from my driveway. And then I can't wait to put all the groceries away and then go get changed and go hop in the pool. Seriously, that sounds so simple. It's a simple life. But after years of just traveling and not really having a place, and then I did have a place, I still own a place in Detroit, but I just don't want to go back. I don't want to live. I'll go back and sell it, but I'm not going to live there. Even though I love Detroit, it's just, I don't want to be there by myself. I have one son who wants to live in California, one son wants to live in Ecuador, so let's just sell the house in Detroit, and eventually we will do that. Not now, of course. Now the whole world's changed, but I might have to wait a few more years before I sell it. But for me, that's it's simple, but it's one of my best life visions ever, because I know that I'm on my way, right? And another one of mine is that I'm on my tour bus in the United States. And even though I'm not thrilled about the color, like purple and pink, somebody has done the tour bus for me. I saw that in a vision that was not my own. I mean, it was, God gave this to me, has shown it to me. And I was like, wow. And it turned out really nice. So I'm like, okay, fine. They're not my colors, but maybe I could change it to turquoise now that I'm aware that this is going to happen. Maybe that's why God told me, And in the vision I had, it was like my hair, I have really long red hair, and it was like flying all over the bus. It was hilarious, just like in every direction, to make people laugh, even if they don't know who I am, they don't know anything about my show. They're gonna laugh when they see the bus, because that's what I wanted to do. I want people to laugh about it, go, oh my God, that's hilarious, because I want people to feel happy, right? So that was part of my best life vision ever, right? So I'm going from place to place, giving a free 3-day seminar every weekend on the East Coast. And then I fly to the West Coast and I do a Chicago, Detroit thing, and bada boom, bada bing, and I come back to Ecuador. swim in my pool. I mean, for me, that's kind of like my best life ever. Maybe I'm married to my sexy, handsome actor husband who's famous, or maybe he's a musician who's famous. I don't know. I think my twin flame is famous because I haven't been able to meet him. I feel him. He tells me he's on the road a lot. He travels a lot. And I think he's famous. I just feel it. I've seen his face. I think I know who it is. He's definitely famous. But a lot of people look like him, so I'm not really sure totally. But not really. But I have face amnesia, so I don't know. I just know when I close my eyes, I know what he looks like, which is kind of crazy because of the face amnesia. But if it's true and he's famous, I might not ever meet him, or it's going to be a lot of years. Like maybe when his fame is winding down and he's looking to unwind somewhere else, maybe he'll end up in Ecuador and I'll meet him then. I don't know. I have no idea. So in the meantime, my best life ever includes becoming my best, most incredible, authentic self. So these are the kinds of things I'm thinking of. So for you, what are you thinking of? If you're already with your one true love, what is your best life ever vision together? Maybe you could do one and they do one, and then you can compare notes. And don't be upset or alarmed if one of you sees yourselves in a ski chalet in Aspen, and the other one of you sees you in a kind of beachy, shacky, kind of gorgeous place in Hawaii. Because maybe, just maybe, you'll have a future in which you have two houses. Two and houses in one. There's nothing wrong with having a house and a vacation house, or 3 or 4. It's not like you're going to go out and buy 500 houses or 700 houses and live in one house per day, But it's okay to have 3 or 4. Some places have a lot of houses available. Like Detroit's one of those places, and it's an incredible city. I just don't want to be there in the snow by myself. I just don't want to live there without my children there. I love my neighbors. I really miss them. That's one reason why I'm not going to just sell it and never go back. I want to actually go back, and I still have a few things in the house, and I want to see my neighbors and hug everybody back, when we're back to actually not social distancing, when we're okay to hug again. So it's kind of weird, but part of my best life ever is like actually hugging people, right? So anyway, so your best life ever vision should include, like if you want to have a baby and you don't have a baby yet and you're in a place where you want to have that, just imagine maybe you're pregnant if you're a woman, or if you're a man and you're married, and imagine that your wife is pregnant. You guys are really happy and you're content and you're so thrilled because everything is fine and everyone's healthy. Or maybe your best life ever vision is that you're graduating university, or that you start university because you haven't gone yet. I don't care if you're 80 years old. If you haven't gone to university and you want to, there's nothing wrong with going to university. So I think about this kind of stuff a lot, like for my vision, but I want you guys to think about this too. Like, what is the one thing? And your best life ever could be just maybe seeing Niagara Falls for the first time. Or maybe seeing Marilyn Monroe's headstone in Hollywood, and going to that famous cemetery where everyone's buried from the 20s and 30s and 40s from Hollywood. It's kind of a veritable who's who of yesteryear. It's kind of fun. It's weird and macabre, but a lot of people are into that kind of thing. Or maybe your best life ever is going to a Kenny Chesney concert because you really love country music, but Kenny Chesney is the one that rocks it the most for you, and maybe you finally saved up the money to go, and you're okay and you're happy. You feel good about being there, you know what I mean? So it could be something like small like that, or it could be something big, like, you're a rock star and you're on stage and 10,000 people came to cheer you on. Maybe you're giving a speech because you're a politician, whatever it is. What is your best life? Everyone has a different dream, and that's what makes it so amazing and wonderful, because Even if you want to do a podcast, you and I would have a different vision on what that is. You would never compete against me, and I would never compete against you. That's why that's why I promote Jude, and it's why I've promoted other people as well. Becca, other people, they have a different vision for what it should be, and we should all listen to each other and love each other, and we should all do everything that it takes to support each other's dreams and visions, because they're all going to be different, but they're all unique, and that's what makes it wonderful, right? So I support your dream and your vision, and I think it's great, So, if you have a vision that you're thinner, maybe you're working on your weight, or maybe that you're healthier, you're working on like lowering your cholesterol or whatever, If you have diabetes, there is a diet that will reverse it 100%. And by the way, before we go for the break, I want to tell you guys, yesterday there's something I think I was starting to touch on, then I kind of didn't quite get to it. Himalayan 5 rights will reverse all diseases in your body. I don't know if that means the flu or coronavirus, okay? So I can't make that claim, but it will reverse everything else. So if you have a pre-existing condition and you're not sick with the coronavirus, maybe you want to do that for 3 or 4 weeks. It will reverse diabetes. It will reverse everything. And I'm not saying that there's a cure for whatever. I'm just saying that in all the people that are faithful to the Himalayan 5 rights, you could go see on YouTube for free how to do these exercises. The book is only $9.99. It's super, super worth it. As a Kindle download, since we all can't go out and buy a book at Barnes & Noble, just go to Amazon, or even if you have a Nook, go to barnesnoble.com, bnn.com, and do it. Just get Peter Keller's book, Ancient Secrets of the Fountain of Youth. I'm telling you right now, you don't ever have to cast a spell to look young, do glamouring over yourself. If you're a witch and you're trying to stay young, you won't have to, get surgery. Never, ever get surgery on your face. Look, seriously, when I first started this, I was 38 and I looked every bit of that 38. And after about 2 weeks, I started to look like I was like 20, maybe like 23. But when I was 38. And now that I'm 51, and I haven't done these exercises for like a year and a half, and I still look like I'm in my 30s, and I'm 51. So, I need to work on it a little bit more, so I look like I'm in my 20s again, or maybe 25 would be fine. 29. So now that we're all home, let's do it. Himalayan 5 rights, RITES. Just look up that on YouTube. See people doing the exercises. It takes 5 minutes, 10 minutes. That's a really infinitely small price to pay to go back to your youth if you are older, or even if you're young and you have a disease. That's a small price to pay to reverse 100% a disease in your body. And the secret is because you're spinning all of your chakras at the same rate. These exercises will put you in alignment with your higher self and your chakras. And if you cleanse your aura, keep it all cleansed, and then you spin your chakras, you probably won't even get the coronavirus, actually. So my son and I have been cleaning the house. He more than me, and he's cleaned the floor so well that it's like shiny. And we have like these fake hardwood floors. They look real, but they're fake, and they look so shiny now because we've been really on it because of the coronavirus. And I'm like looking at the floor today, I'm like, look how shiny the floor is. It looks clean. And he's like, I've been walking around the floor with my bare feet all day long. Look at my feet, and his feet were perfectly clean. I'm like, okay, I'm convinced. I think tomorrow I'm going to start the Himalaya 5 rights. And I started thinking about it, and I want to mention it again. I've mentioned it several times on the show. I did a whole episode on it last year. If you want to look, just do a Google search for Metaphysical Soul Speak Himalayan 5 rights, and you'll find it. Or maybe I said Fountain of Youth might have been the title of the episode. But anyway, by the way, if you have Alexa and you do use her, I think you could find me through Alexa, possibly even through Siri. Just say, Alexa, play Metaphysical Soul Speak, the podcast. Someone approached me today, and for money, $59 a month, they could put me on Alexa. And I actually looked, and I'm already there. You just say, Alexa, Spotify, Metaphysical Soul Speak, the podcast. There you go. All right, guys, I'm going to take a quick break. When I come back, I'm going to do a tarot card reading for all of us, for the collective, in regards specifically to the coronavirus 19, COVID-19. We are coming for you, and we're going to find out all of the higher information that can be channeled in relationship to us, our collective whole experience, and this really annoying virus right after this message. If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's high time you did. It is the absolute easiest way to make a podcast. First of all, it's absolutely free. Second of all, they have creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or your computer. You guys have known that I've been doing this for 8 months using the Anchor.fm app right on my cell phone, and I have done it everywhere, right? I have recorded this in my living room, my bedroom, little cafes in Quito, Ecuador, all over Cuenca. It's so absolutely easy to make your podcast, and editing is just a snap. Anchor also will distribute your podcast for you, and it took me about 2.5 months to become syndicated, and now I'm available on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and many more, and so can you. You can make money from your podcast also, and there's no minimum requirement. You get paid from your very first listener. It is everything that you need to make a podcast all in one place. So please, if you are interested in making a podcast of your very own, do not hesitate to start with Anchor. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started today. I know how you guys like the ASMR, so we're going to give that to you first, and then I'm going to go into the reading. So here we go, guys. All right. I've already taken all the cards. Archangel Raphael is helping us today with this one, because Archangel Raphael is an angel of healing. And when I think of Archangel Raphael, I think of an emerald green light. And quite often, I also think of kind of a baby pink light. And it's just a very gentle, very loving, almost like a rose quartz color energy. Just very ethereal, gossamer type of energy. And both of these energies, both these colors are associated with the heart. And even though Archangel's associated with healing, a lot of times it is connected to our heart center, our heart chakra. So anyway, Archangel Raphael is here to heal the world. So when we need healing of any kind, ask Archangel Raphael to be with you. If you're scared, if you're sick, if you have the coronavirus or the flu or any illness at all, cancer, anything, if you're going through something hard, ask Archangel Raphael to put her loving arms around you and hug you at night. And the more you tune into her energy, The more you will relax, the more you'll be healed, and the more you'll be able to feel her with you in your energy field, in your room. And you'll start to feel that healing energy bubbling up inside your heart, like champagne bubbles, going out in every direction. And this can extend towards your body and also your mind to heal mental issues as well. So pretty much I think Archangel Raphael just channeled that through me. All right, I'm feeling kind of a little bit out of it because I feel like I think she spoke through me. She's like nodding. Yes, she's here in the room with me. All right, so I've gotten this. Let me get my glasses in case I have a hard time seeing. So I've gotten these 10 cards, you guys. And I'm going to ask Prime Creator, who I am always 100% connected to. I'm going to ask him to also speak through me so that I give you guys really intense and accurate information in this reading. This is a Celtic cross spread. There's 10 cards, and I'm going to explain what each card it means, and I'm explaining how I do readings in case you are brand new to the show, because I have a lot of brand new listeners. So welcome aboard, first of all. I love all of you, and I thank you for your confidence in me and all that good stuff. All right, I don't want to waste too much time because we have a lot to go over. Okay, the first card stands for where we are at right now. Now, the reading today I'm doing is in relationship to the COVID-19 coronavirus, the novel coronavirus that we are currently operating with in our collective energy field. I've been saying energy field all day, haven't I? I just realized I probably said that 4 times since the beginning of this. But it's crazy, you know, but a huge part of the Ascension right now has to do with fear. Now, I'm not saying don't feel your fear because you're not doing it right. You know, there's a lot of people on Instagram that have all these things about fear as if fear is a bad thing. And if we didn't have fear, we would have died a long time ago as the saber-toothed tigers were chasing us. We would have been like, here, kitty, kitty, and the saber-toothed tigers would have eaten us. They would have eaten us for dinner, and humans wouldn't exist, right? So a healthy amount of fear is not a detriment. It's actually a mechanism that we need in order to actually stay alive. It's part of our survival mechanism. Fight or flight, you know, you got to assess the situation. Are you going to take off, or are you going to stay put and fight? It's a very good and healthy response in relationship to certain things. Now, if it's your boss calling you because you're 15 minutes late for work, you probably shouldn't go into fight or flight. You should just be like, oh yeah, I kind of screwed up, the alarm didn't go off or whatever. But our subconscious minds don't really know the difference between a saber-toothed tiger chasing us and our boss calling us. So it does get out of proportion inside our psyches, and it is affected inside of our bodies as well. But right now, fear is actually playing a humongous role in cracking us open to the world that lies before us. Go to ShriAndKara.com or to Shri and Kara on YouTube. Check out some of their videos recently. They've put out like 3 or 4 videos about fear, and you'll see that your fear will serve you in several ways right now. Number 1, it's going to keep you safe from getting the coronavirus. Number 2, it's going to increase your, it's going to kind of help you renew your faith, right? So if you're afraid of something, if you're afraid of ascension, you're going to have to face yourself and see exactly what it is that you're afraid of, and so in a way it's showing you where your disbelief is, where your insecurities lie. If you feel like you're not doing it good enough, it'll show you, where you are mistaken in how you feel about yourself. If you think of yourself as anything less than a god or a goddess in training, goddess in training, get. That's kind of funny, actually, huh? If you're a god or a goddess in training, you are, that's what we all are, actually. We're becoming our divine selves. We're like becoming our higher selves right now. So we are, we're having to look through all that fear. Feel the fear, but just do it anyway, baby, So, having said that, the first card is where we are now in our present moment with this coronavirus on Earth. This is for the whole collective. And what's really strange is the card is the 10 of Cups, and it says satisfaction. But 10 is Wheel of Fortune. Cups is heart. So, where are we at? We don't really know, right? It's like freaking playing Russian roulette, just, we don't know. We don't freaking know. It could go either way. Are we slipping back down under the lower part of the wheel and going to go back into unconsciousness? Or are we right at the brim, at the brink? Are we rising up and going into the new age of mankind, where all good fortunes will prevail for all of us? Is that where we're going? So I'm going to ask God about this. You want to talk about this? Okay, yes. I am always at one with my Father, so He's going to talk to us all right now. So God, go ahead. 10 of Cups. Yes. First of all, greetings. I am your Prime Creator. Some of you know me by other names: Allah, God, Yahweh, Jah, Ra. Basically, you could call me the universe if that's the most comfortable for you. But most of you just say God. So, okay. 40. Oh God, you guys, it says 40 right on there. It means that is a correspondence to the Hebrew. The Hebrew number 40 corresponds to Aben, father. So basically, is directly related to God. And there is a hand on here. In fact, there's 2 hands on here. And God says, yes, indeed. The 2 hands on the card can be looked at as, which hand are you looking at? It means which hand are you looking at? Sorry. He's talking so fast, it's hard for me to unjumble it. Please. Right? Okay. It's like a lightning fast. It's almost like, if you can imagine that the words God sends me is like, as if it's on this string in a ball of yarn. He threw the whole freaking ball of yarn at me at once. It's tangled. How do I unravel it? Okay. The 2 hands on this card look like there's a decision for you to make. Which hand are you going to listen to? Are you going to listen to the hands of the leaders in your world? Are you going to listen to what they're saying when they don't really know what they're doing or what they're thinking, or they're allowing their fears to get the better of them? They're very they're very scared, most of the leaders in the world right now, in your world. Or you can look at the hand of God and know that I am cradling you directly in the palm of my hand, always loving you, ever loving you, regardless of what happens to your outer shell. You're never going to be far away from me. So you can listen to the hands that don't know what the brain is thinking, or you can listen to me, the universe, your prime creator, who will always hold you in the palm of my hand, gently and lovingly. So the Wheel of Fortune reference in this card has to do with the choice you're making. Are you on the side of the wheel that's falling down, or are you on the side of the wheel that's rising up? In this moment, are you falling down or are you rising up? And I'm not talking from a standpoint of whether or not you have the virus. Because if you have the virus, you're always going to rise up. As long as you keep me in your mind, ask for my help, I will send Archangel Raphael to you in a heartbeat, in a flash of a second. Where you are right now with this is where you are in your spiritual evolution, in your journey, in your fear versus trust part of your mind. Feel the calmness that you have in your heart right now, and know that that is who you are at the core of your being, your true nature. Okay, guys, the second card is the High Priestess. That is what crosses us. And I am not really happy about the 13 on the card. The 13 is also a relation to Goddess Hecate. She's a goddess of the crossroads. She kind of walks between life and death, and when Goddess Hecate walks near you, she will protect you from needless death if it's not your time. She does offer extra protection from accidental death, and she's a goddess of the night. I walk with Goddess Hecate. She does help me. She's helped me for years, and I love her dearly, and she's very much someone who could help you with everything, from love relationships to revenge. She will talk you out of revenge schemes if it's going to hurt you or come back on you. She'll always remind you of your karma. So that's a 13 in the card. So the High Priestess card here, though, guys, it's I want to make sure, because this doesn't even look like the High Priestess. It's funny. Yeah, it is her. I mean, it looks like her, but she's not really sitting down. She's supposed to be sitting down. It's kind of funny. But this is the Andean Tarot. I love these cards. These are wild cards. Okay. All right. So the High Priestess, traditionally, she is sitting on a stone throne between Joachim and Boaz, or Boaz and Joachim. You know, the pillars are black and white, and one says B, one says J. It means Boaz and Joachim. Anyway, she sits on the pillar, the stone throne, and her foot rests upon the crescent moon. She is the goddess of the night. She's still quiet, passive, receptive, and very feminine. She's also a virgin. And she is someone who holds on her lap a scroll. And what is contained in that scroll is your Akashic records. So what is crossing you right now is the keeper of your Akashic records. This is a time of decision, God is telling me. This is going to go down in your permanent record, how you react and respond to the coronavirus. If you're out being frivolous and playing in the world when it's time for you to be home and praying in your inner sanctum, your inner world, this could go on your permanent record. It's going to reflect what you choose in this moment, what you have chosen. So choose wisely, my dear ones. Choose wisely. Okay, the next one is what is below us, or what is our foundation at this time. And this card is the King of Wands. So, let's see. I think it says King of Emprendedor. I don't know if that means, I keep thinking it means, oh no, I'm thinking Empresario. I'm like, does it mean King of Business? That's not true. So, okay, it is in Spanish as well. King of Wands. Okay, so God is saying, okay, He is the one who has currently been illuminating your path. He brings you messages of hope and peace, and you're seeing this in everyday life. If you're not on a quarantine yet, as you drive around, you're seeing bumper stickers or billboards or t-shirts, messages in TV shows or the radio. Bits of entertainment will come wafting through energetically, and you'll hear one word or one phrase. So He's been illuminating your path. And God's saying, and by He I mean the Holy Spirit has been with all of you. And this is an androgynous energy. He's saying you could say he or she, either way. But this energy is giving you the positivity and the way showing that you need at this time. Because this could be a very, very dark time in the world, or like many of you have done, you've actually started looking at memes that are funny to lighten your mood. You realize that this too shall pass, and everything's going to be okay. You're understanding that it's not really truly the end of the world. It's just a virus, but it's a particularly nasty strain that will touch the lives of everyone on the planet eventually. Whether you get it or not, you'll end up knowing someone who had the virus. And 20 years from now, it's going to be a part of the dialogue still. Remember that time we were on lockdown? Remember that time we fought that virus and we won? But it depends on where your dialogue is your foundation currently. Has your dialogue been negative or positive about this situation? You can always change it, because time is an illusion. So don't look at your past and blame yourself. Look at your present and change yourself. That's a really good one, God. That's like a t-shirt material. That's like really super excellent. He says, thank you. I've done a little writing in my time. Of course he has. God has written a lot of things. Try every book on earth. Every book on every planet. Since we are all one and we are all God, right? All right, so what's in our past? Yeah, what have we left behind, you guys? This is the Chariot card. What is behind us? The Chariot card. Oh, this one pains me so. There's a male symbol on it, which means our active power, our force, our energy, our life force, that we just move forward, our active part of it, because we're not active anymore. We had to leave it for now. The Chariot is a symbol of travel. I mean, seriously, I just feel like I want to cry. I do not want to travel. I mean, I do not want to not be able to travel. I want to travel. I've been wanting to travel for months, and like in the last 2 weeks, I tried so hard to take a little vacation before something like this was going to freaking happen. On some level, my spirit knew this was going to happen. My son says to me, he said, Mom, in a very big way. This is something I've been training for my whole life. I knew this was going to happen. He's like, I knew something was going to happen, like the apocalypse, major earthquake or something, zombies with the bath salts or something, or a virus, pandemic. He says, I knew, I always knew. He's been saying it since he could practically talk. He's been already bit about the survival. That's like the skills he brought in with him this time. And thank God, I don't know if I would survive if it was just me alone, or if my oldest kid had been born second and he was already off to California. I don't know if my oldest and I could have survived together alone. So it worked out the way it was supposed to. So is there anything else to add to that one, God? So what we've left behind us is our ability to travel. A lot of the active things we were doing outside of the house, it's all gone. We just left it behind. It's not a time to go without. It's a time to stay within. So here we go. Oh, and here's the lovely one. But yet we still have the male symbol above us. You guys, what is above us? What is message from our higher self? The weather started getting rough. The tiny ship was tossed. If not for the courage of the fearless crew, the minnow would be lost. By minnow, I mean the frickin' world. Okay, guys, the top card is the Tower. Holy crap. That's for the collective whole. That is our card for our frickin' message from our higher self, is a frickin' tower. The Tower. I mean, in this card, there's like people jumping to their death. There's fire and rain, blood raining down. Everything's just flying down. The blood, though, when you look, what looks like droplets of blood and fire, when you look really careful, it's yods. The Hebrew letter yod, which is the open hand of God, always willing to give us everything that we need, even in our moment of greatest fear, which is where we're at right now, right? And we have like 429, almost 430,000 people have been affected by this virus in the world. It's hit every country and territory now. I want to tell you guys, though, before we move on with this, during the break, I looked at it again, and it went from 197 down to 194 as 3 of the countries did resolve themselves, meaning several countries only had like one person, and that person either died or got better, and now bada boom, bada bing, they don't have it in their country anymore. So we're going to now start seeing a repeal and rollback of the coronavirus. It touched every country, and as the countries keep their people safe by eliminating travel for a while, I have a feeling if all the countries do it right, they play the cards right, what's going to happen is you're just going to see it'll be less and less and less countries, and we're going to be like, oh, thank God. Can you imagine when it's like back down to only 5 countries have it? And we're going to be like, oh, come on, guys. You can do it. You can do it. You know? I look forward to that day. And then the day when there's only 3 countries, and then there's only 1. And then that country is also cleansed. I look forward to the day that we no longer have this virus on the planet. But the Tower, so the message from the higher self, God, is there anything from that we need to add? Okay, go ahead and tell me, or tell us. So the Tower card means what? Father, please. You are at a crossroads moment. The goddess Hecate reference was quite right on. The Tower is the time in which your your beliefs are going to be shaken to the core. Many of you are going to blame me for having caused a virus. But there is a genuine disharmony and feelings of lack that create viruses in your world. When you all realize that you and I are one, when you all realize to the very core of your being, to the center of your each individual cell in your body, when it is embedded and imprinted on your DNA that you and I are one, then you'll no longer have to walk in fear of the shadow of death or of any illness or any adversity. Things will always go your way, but you have to rise above. So these are the times in which your illusions are being shattered. Many of you believe you cannot speak with me, you just speak at me or to me, but you don't stick around to wait for the answer. I'm asking you now to stick around and wait for the answer. Your outer walls are being destroyed. What I mean by that is all the defenses that you have held, all of your outer shell, your outer armor that you have held up as a defense against the world, and all of the defensive shell you've held around yourself that has prevented you from knowing who you truly are at your genuine, authentic core self. All of those illusions are going away right now. So the tower in this case refers to that. Your illusions are leaving, your old false notions and beliefs about me, about religion, about relationships, about life. All the things that were false that you held on to so dear are being shattered right now. That you need the opposite sex to survive if you're straight, or that you need another like yourself if you are not. Basically, that you need a companion to survive, that you can't live without. That form of love is an erroneous and false belief, because that form of love is already inside of you. Otherwise, you would not be able to experience it. That's how when you come together with a soulmate or a twin flame or a like-minded kindred spirit, your souls combine in a way in which you reflect yourself back to yourself from the mirror that is your new partner. The love that you see is the love that comes from your heart. So all of your illusions of relationships are being shattered. If you haven't already broken those down, to rebuild them back up in my image. And you guys, I don't mean me, Elena. That's God. This is what God is saying. Illusions of grandeur in some cases, illusions of being less than in most occasions. All of these illusions are being shattered. Every illusion you've held about yourself. This is the time for you to go within. This is the time for you to seek solace and comfort, not from without, but from inside of yourself. Many of you will have your kundalinis raised in these days, in this time, because that is what's going to knock out all of those false beliefs, false systems, including religions, some institutions, including schools and even higher institutions of learning, have instilled certain beliefs and thoughts that just are not serving you. And those beliefs and thoughts that are serving you, that are good and of a higher truth, will and shall and forever will remain inside of you. So don't worry about that. Okay. All right, guys. The next card that we have, where we're headed in the next 2 to 3 weeks, the card is, it says realization on it, is the 9 of Pentacles. 9 is reference to the hermit who looks like a very lonely man standing by himself at the top of a mountain. But he's holding a lantern, and in that lantern he has a Star of David. He has all the knowledge from King Solomon on down, including Jesus. If you are Christian, religious, then you can relate to this, okay? Moses, Abraham, all the lights of the prophets and the spiritual masters before him are contained within the light that the lonely hermit holds up at the top of the mountain in his lantern. If you look at his hat carefully, again, it's the open hand of God. That is his hat. Okay, so this is the 9 of Pentacles. Pentacles is earth, material, goods, material items. But we are the hermits of the Pentacles, basically. So 9 of Pentacles. So God, you want to add to this? He says, yes, I do. Okay. Go ahead, of course. 9 of Pentacles, as it's concerned to your material health and wealth in 2 to 3 weeks' time. You are going to see a different view of your material life. Many of you are going to see the light, as it were, as it's being held up from a lonely mountaintop, shining down, beaming down on you. You're going to understand who you are and where you need to be working in the next 2 to 3 weeks. These realizations are going to come. Many of you are going to choose to quit the jobs that you've had. Many of you have already been let go of those jobs. In 2 to 3 weeks' time, you will have forgotten those jobs that you were let go of, if that's the case for you. In 2 to 3 weeks' time, you're going to know who you are on an authentic self level, and you're going to know where you're going to go materially. What job do you want? What business do you want to start? How do you want to make your money in a way that serves God by serving mankind? You're going to have a heart, love, and compassion to a level and degree that you never had before. This is going to shock you, because where you're standing right now, you can't see that. It's like a big cloud of fog is around you. But when that dissipates and clears, you will be awakened with much more mental clarity in the next 2 to 3 weeks as to what you want to do for a living, for money, for your way in this world. And this new thing will take you through and will be your passage. And of course, this is across the way from the passage card, the Chariot. So he's saying that this is going to be your passage into the next phase of the Ascension, as well as the golden era of man and what's happening with the money. There's going to be a reset. A lot of people are talking about. Is that true, God? He says yes, there's going to be a reset. But whatever insight you have in the next 2 to 3 weeks, I don't want you to say, oh, but the reset, so I shouldn't. No, go for it. Go forward with what your plans are. And then everything's going to fall into place in a way new and crazy, surprising way that you don't know what's coming. It's going to be good, though. How we see ourselves at the bottom of the staff. We have 4 cards left, so. Again, it says satisfaction. Now, it says satisfaction. Realization was this last card. What did it say satisfaction? Oh, goodness. I'm trying to see. I don't have my glasses on. Seems to me like there was another card that said that somehow. Maybe it just said realization. Okay. I'm looking because I know I saw this on another card. Anyway, so how do we see ourselves in this time of the global pandemic coronavirus crisis? How we're seeing ourselves right now is Ace of Pentacles, but also satisfaction. So that's good. And Capricorn, meaning we're probably all going to start as a Taurus. So Capricorn means we're going to do something business related. We're going to either join a business or get into a business that we can believe in. 77 means we feel that God is at our back. The Ace means we are at a brand new beginning. A lot of us are thinking reset, aren't we? I mean, the money reset. Ace of Pentacles, a brand new beginning for money specifically. Now, when I see the Taurus and then I see the word satisfaction, what does that mean? The Taurus symbol. Taurus people are very much into luxury everything. They don't go to Target and get a purse, baby. They will max out their credit card for a Prada bag, okay? People who are Taurians have to have the best of the best, the finest luxuries, because why not while we're here in this place that can otherwise be sometimes a hellhole? Just face it. You know, this is a place of trials and tribulations. But Taurus people always seem to rise above a little bit. You know, they don't just keep their hair a normal blonde. No, they will go platinum. They will go gorgeous. They're not satisfied with a little bit of color in their cheeks. They will lay on the beach and get a all over tan and look like a bronze god. You know, that's the kind of thing that a Taurian, you know, everything, no matter what it is, they try to do it to the nth degree, to the finest point of luxury. So when I see the Ace of Pentacles with the Taurus and the Capricorn, I feel like we're going to go towards our own business or join a business that's already going, where we're going to make our money, but we're going to feel so satisfied and so happy, but also very lofty. The sevens are God's numbers. A seven is always related to God. So we're going to do this in a spiritual way, and that's where satisfaction is going to come from, is from our spirituality. God is out it. Is there anything else to add? Nope. Yay. I did it. Okay. The second card is how the sleeping ones, spiritually unawakened, how do they view us during the time of the COVID-19 coronavirus crisis? Say that 5 times fast. Actually, don't, but it's crazy. Okay. Now, this card, how they view us, is the Queen of Pentacles. Again, it has a Virgo on it, as well as a Capricorn. It's a very earthy card, okay? They're going to look at us and go, oh, well, you guys aren't afraid of money issues. You're not afraid of the money woes that we're going through. We see that you are interested in business or becoming, you know, doing your own thing for money. Like, you're adapting. You are a queen of this. Yes, queen. You are able to do it. And you're able to do it with a spiritual perfection that has never been seen before. You are going to inspire people when you go out and just maybe get an online job or start a blog and suddenly you're making money with that. Start a podcast, you're making money with that. Start a spiritual, like a card reading business or whatever, you know, or a cleansing business. Tired of cleaning your aura yourself? Let us do it for you. Whatever it is that you're doing. So guys, is there anything else to add to that card? No. Oh, and I'm feeling my Merkaba just start spinning, guys. Ooh, I'm feeling really powerful right now, and also queasy. I think I almost just took off my bed again. I get this feeling a lot when I'm doing readings, and especially when I'm channeling Prime Creator. All right, so the next card is, hopefully you guys got a lot out of that card, how people are seeing us, that we are acing this. It's like a test, but we're passing it because we're not afraid. We know Nasara or Jasara is coming. We're not sure how it's going to be implemented, but you guys, I have a feeling the basic income is going to come out of this. To be honest with you guys, I mean, if you want to start thinking about this collectively until we could get to the next level where we don't need money, I mean, let's start thinking about everyone on earth getting $2,000 a month. Level the playing field. People that want to work can work because they want to work. People who don't want to work can stay home, like me. If I was getting $2,000 a month just for the rest of my life, just because I exist and I deserve it, what would I do in the money? I would be painting and channeling and meditating and pretty much how I live my life right now. And I would still do my show. I'd still be here for you guys, teaching you my crazy wisdom, my Heyoka crazy wisdom, but I would also just be here to serve people and heal people, energetically healing people. That's all I would do. Sure, I might teach English online. I might do something else, but you know, I don't think that people would do absolutely nothing. We'd all be doing some form of contribution. So let's keep thinking about that basic income. All right. Next card is our hopes versus fears, as well as what's going to happen in the next 3 months. The card here is the King of Swords. King of Swords. And it says, Re de claridad mental. It's Kolakapak in Incan. So basically, the King of Mental Clarity. I like the King of Mental Clarity. He's freaking awesome. So basically, God, you want to talk to us about this, what this one is? He says yes. Okay. In 3 to 6 months, your fears will have already been exposed by the action of the tower. Your hopes will start to come to light, and your vision of the future is going to come in as a mental clarity to an extent level that you never had before. This card represents that part of you that is 100% your higher self. You are in touch and in constant communication. And it's as if before you were on a landline from the 1940s, barely able to make out the words as the cable made so many sounds and, artifact noises. And that's how your communication has been with your higher self. But now, in 3 to 6 months, if all goes to plan, what's going to happen, it's going to be as if you're standing in a phone booth with your higher self, embracing each other. That's how clear your mental capacity will be. The hopes versus fears is this position of this card, but your fears will have already been erased and abolished. They will have served their purpose. Your mental clarity will come into play, and all you will see around you is the hope that you always had, as well as a promise that has already been given to you. Your world will have changed that much in 3 months. Okay, final card. Okay, yes. All right, now the final card is the Queen of Wands. And there's a Sagittarius on it, which also kind of points to travel, which is nice. In Spanish, it says Reina Entusiasta, the enthusiastic queen. We've had her in a lot of our readings. I love her. So basically, the Queen of Wands. Now, this is related to Who else did we have over here? The Wands. Down here, our foundation is the King of Wands. So her husband, basically, is our foundation, but she is our future. You could take that in a lot of ways. Patriarchal to matriarchal society. Yet one more time. That might be one interpretation. Going with what the men of the world said versus going in with the female intuition that each one of us possesses, whether we are physically female or not, whether we relate gender to female or not. It's an energy, okay? The Divine Mother, it's an energy form. So that is our final outcome of this whole reading. Where we're going with all this. This is where we land, is the enthusiastic Queen with the symbol of being able to travel again. So, God, you want to add, it also has a prime number on it, 23. Very good number. It's the one number that you'll see more often than any other numbers as far as prime numbers go. And you could thank Douglas Adams for that insight. It's not mine. It's his Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. He talks about that. All right, God, you want to tell us about the final outcome of this? He says, yes, I do. Okay, so go ahead. The enthusiastic Queen, or the Queen of Wands. It is the culmination of all of your efforts together in 6 months' time, when you are paving the path before all of you, not just the collective whole that's awakened, but all of awakening humanity. There will be some cataclysms and waves of various things happening, not just the virus, but those of you that are able to remain calm in the storm are going to see with mental clarity the clearness of the plan. It will be revealed to you as the veil shall be made rent. The veil will leave your eyes, and you're going to see a world beyond your fondest or greatest imagination or wishes. What you're going to see in 6 months, you're not going to believe. And we can't even begin to describe it to you, because there's just no point, because you have no idea what you don't know. You don't know what you don't know until you know it, you know? So, she's going to be lighting your path with her wand. That mental clarity is going to rush forward. You're going to continue to move and shake about your world, your life, create all the changes, accept the changes, remain calm, choose the hand of God to be with you. And you're going to have to be okay with sitting still and gain to know yourself. But in 6 months' time of having done all of these things, your path is going to be so well lit that you're going to be able to see for a very long time where you're headed, and you're going to like it. It's a very positive sign, this card. It's a very positive message for you. Okay, he's saying, I'm building pillars that shall stand at each of your sides. You are already standing on a good foundation, and together we build the roof. Together we build the highest vibration possible. And how high you build that roof is up to you. How much you want to grow and expand, spiritually speaking, is up to you. But with enthusiasm, joy, and pride of having done a good job in accomplishments, the Queen of Wands brings it all about. he's showing me that she's like laying out, there's like a glimmering, like a glitter path in front of you, golden glittering path. And she's the one that turns the lights on and lights the path and makes it easy for you to go that way. So when you choose it, that enthusiasm of moving forward in the future in a positive and joyful light, the outcome that you seek from the coronavirus pandemic, what it's going to be like, what emerges is you. You're going to be able to once again leave your homes. You're going to be able to see your friends and rejoice. You're going to be enthusiastic about what you see. All right, another thing, God is telling me that we all tend to take people for granted that we see every single day, but the point is, when we don't see them for a long time, we're going to see them again, we're going to see them in a new light, and we're going to have such a lovely conversation, such wonderful rejoicing that the world is automatically going to open up into this wonderful, colorful, magical, almost like glittery place. It's going to be so shiny. And it's going to be so much rejoicing, so much power, so much love, and the fear will have already gone and dissipated. So there you have it, guys. That is our collective whole COVID-19 coronavirus crisis tarot card reading for Tarot Tuesday. I hope you've had a good Tarot Tuesday. I love you guys. I love each and every one of you. And I'm going to try to make a little commercial for my CBD oil business, because it's the link is there. If you go to my anchor.fm/metaphysical, and it might be showing up in the description of, Spotify and iHeartRadio and all these other places, iTunes. But it doesn't always show up on YouTube, and there's a whole problem with the distributor, which I'm still trying to deal with. But anyway, you can look that up or write me and I'll try to send you the link. But CBD oil actually does help you with your actual immune system. There's incredibly great immune system support. They have gummy vitamins and minerals and things that will help. They will just send it to you, ship it to you straight to your door. And CTFO is a great company. So I'll try to do something and give you guys a little bit more information on it in the upcoming weeks. So Change the Future Outcome is what CTFO stands for. And it's a good company if you want to join it as a business. Now they have nothing else to do, right? It's free to join. So I'm telling you guys that because, hey, you might want to make money doing this. So just go ahead and join it. It's really pretty straightforward. All right, so there you have it, guys. Thank you for listening to my show, having confidence in me, and trusting that my spiritual wisdom is going to guide you in a way that will bring you back to yourself, and we can all move forward together and onward and upward, more and more into the fifth dimension as we travel on our spiritual paths. Stairway to Heaven comes to mind. Thank you for liking, sharing, forwarding, and subscribing to Metaphysical Soul Speak, the podcast. Thank you for telling everybody you know about it, especially those that are newly awakened and hungry for the knowledge. Even though I have crazy Heyoka wisdom, we always get there. We always get to the higher insight and higher vibration. So, yeah, that's it. Please forward to your Instagram and your Facebook people. And don't forget to mark your calendars for July 1st, in case you haven't already, because I'm going to need the votes for the People's Choice Award in the spirituality category. So I'll tell you more about where to go to vote for me later, like in July. But right now, I'm just telling you, save the date. Please, if you think I deserve it. Okay, so, well, that's it, guys. I love you. Thank you for being here with me. Thank you for letting me know that I am not just shouting out in the darkness by myself. I feel you here listening, and I'm grateful for every single one of you. After all, in Lak'ech, I am another yourself. All right, guys, I'm going to be back tomorrow with all unique and original programming, just like always, and that will be tomorrow. But for now, I'm signing off with peace and joy and the high vibes of the Holy Fifth Dimension. Until next time, guys, peace. Metaphysical Soul Speak is run on sponsors and listener support. This means listeners like you. If you are so inclined to support my efforts and my little podcast, please visit me at anchor.fm/metaphysical and pledge an amount of your choosing today. Thank you.